Dear students, welcome back. I am Chetan Pawar, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Botany at Gokhale Education Society's Arts, Commerce and Science College, Jawar. Students, today's topic of our presentation is the types of stomata. This is the last topic from Unit 3, that is Anatomy. This topic has been included in the Mumbai University's TYBSc Botany paper 2nd. So let's start with our topic. Before proceeding to our topic, we will have a small introduction on the stomata. You all know that the stomata, this is a plural word for the word stoma. These stomata, these are the very small or the minute openings which are present on the aerial parts of the plant, and they are present in the epidermis. These stomata, they are present on all parts of the plant except the roots. They can be present on the leaves, stem, fruit, flower, etc. These stomata, they mainly help in the physiological functioning of the plant. They are very important in the process of the gaseous exchange and the transpiration in the plant. In the process of photosynthesis, they are important for the exchange of the carbon dioxide and oxygen in the plant. They are also helpful for the removal of water in the form of water vapors through the process of transpiration in plants. Typically, the stoma, it consists of the three parts. In this diagram, you can see the stoma, it is having the three basic parts. The most important part of the stoma, it is called as the guard cells. These guard cells, they are two in number, which are very important for the functioning of the stoma, because the opening and closing of the stoma, it depends on the functioning of the guard cells. Then in the center, there is the presence of aperture or the pore is there, and the cells which are surrounding these guard cells, these are called as the subsidiary cells, or they are also called as the accessory cells. So these three parts, they constitute the typical structure of stoma. The guard cells are very important for the functioning of the stoma, because these guard cells, they are osmotically active and they are having the presence of chloroplast. That means they perform the photosynthesis. They manufacture their own food material. Guard cells are the only cells of the epidermal layer which are having the capacity to perform the process of photosynthesis. All other epidermal cells, they are non-photosynthetic. While the subsidiary cells, these subsidiary cells, they are associated functionally as well as the physiologically with the guard cells, and as they help the guard cells in the process of stomatal opening and closing, these subsidiary cells, they are also called as the accessory cells. Then based on the presence of stomata on the surface of leaf, the leaves can be classified into the three types: epistomatic leaves, hypostomatic leaves, or amphistomatic leaf. In epistomatic leaves, the stomata are restricted to the upper surface or the dorsal surface of the leaf, while in hypostomatic leaves, the stomata are restricted towards the lower side or the lower surface of the leaves, while in amphistomatic leaves, they are present on both surfaces of the leaves. Then the stomatal opening and closing, it depends on the entry and exit of water in the guard cells, because these guard cells, they are osmotically active, and when the water enters into the guard cells, the stomata get opened due to the swelling of the guard cells. When due to exit of water, the stomata gets closed and the reverse process takes place. Now moving to the types of stomata. In your FYBSc, you have studied about the two types of stomata, that is monocotyledonous stomata and dicotyledonous stomata. But in today's presentation, in your TYBSc syllabus, there is more detailed classification of stomata is given, and this is according to the Metcalfe and Chalk. In 1950, they classified stomata into the following types based on the number and arrangement of the subsidiary cells in respect with or in accordance with the guard cells. These are from dicotyledonous stomata, there are four types, while from monocotyledonous there is only one type. From dicotyledonous plants, there are four types are present. The first one that is called as anomocytic type, second anisocytic type, third parasitic type, while the fourth diacytic type. And from monocotyledonous plants, there is only one type, that is a gramineous or gramineous type. Now moving in details of each type. Before that, you know that the dicotyledonous stomata, they consist of the guard cells which are having the kidney shape. That means the kidney shaped guard cells is the important feature of the dicotyledonous stomata. In dicotyledonous stomata, there are further four types are present. The first one, anomocytic type, which is also called as the ranunculaceous type or irregular celled type. It is also called as a ranunculaceous type because the stomata, this type, it was first time observed in the family Ranunculaceae. The stoma in this type remains surrounded by the limited number of cells which cannot be distinguished from the other epidermal cells. That means we can say in other words that the subsidiary cells in this type are absent. The examples of this type are the members of families Ranunculaceae, Apocynaceae, Malvaceae, Chenopodiaceae, and the genus Cucurbita. In this diagram, you can see here, these are the subsidiary cells which are present in the vicinity or in the surrounding of the guard cells. They are all of same type. That means they cannot be distinguished from the other epidermal cells, and that's why we can say the subsidiary cells are absent. But stoma remains surrounded by the limited number of cells. This is the first type, which is called as anomocytic or irregular cell, because cells are irregular. There is no perfect shape or size. Then the second type is called as an anisocytic type. It is also called as a cruciferous or unequal celled type. As the name suggests, in this type, the subsidiary cells, they are of unequal size. That means stoma remains surrounded by the three subsidiary cells, and out of these three subsidiary cells, one is distinctly smaller than the other two cells. In this diagram, you can see here the two subsidiary cells are larger and the one subsidiary cell is smaller. Here also you can see the two subsidiary cells are larger in size and the one subsidiary cell is smaller. The examples of this type include the members from the family Cruciferae, then also the Solanaceae, and from Solanaceae there is the genus Solanum, then also the genus Petunia, Sedum and Nicotiana. They show this type of the stomata. Then moving to the third type of the stomata, that is a parasitic or it is also called as a rubiaceous or parallel celled type. Here also the name itself suggests that the long axis of stomata means guard cells and the long axis of subsidiary cells, they are parallel to each other. Means the stoma is accompanied on either side by one or more subsidiary cells which lie parallel to the long axis of the guard cells. Here in this diagram you can see this is the long axis of the guard cell and this is the same long axis of the subsidiary cell. These subsidiary cells, they are parallel to these guard cells. That's why it is called as a parallel celled or parasitic type of the stomata. The examples include the members from the genus from the family Rubiaceae, Convolvulaceae, and the genus Phaseolus, Arachis, and the Sorelia. They show this type of the stomata. Now moving to the last type from the dicotyledonous stomata, that is a diacytic type, or it is also called as a caryophyllaceous or cross-walled type. In this type, the stoma remains enclosed by a pair of subsidiary cells whose common wall is at right angles to the guard cells. That means the guard cells and the subsidiary cells, the common wall of subsidiary cells, it is right angle to, this is the common wall, this is the common wall of the guard cells, and this common wall, it is right angle to the long axis of the guard cells. That's why it is called as a diacytic or cross-walled type. And the examples of this type include the members of family Caryophyllaceae, Acanthaceae, and the genus, that is a Hygrophila, Dianthus. They show this type of stomata. Now from the second type, that is a monocotyledonous stomata, there is only one type is there, that is a graminaceous or gramineous type. You all know that in monocotyledonous stomata, the guard cells are dumbbell shaped. That means they are having the bulbous end and the central rod like structure is present. So in that similar way, in monocotyledonous stomata, the guard cells are dumbbell shaped. In this type, as the monocotyledonous leaves, they are having the parallel venation. The stomata in such a leaves, they are arranged in a parallel rows. That means epidermal cells, they are present in parallel rows. That's why the stomata, they are also present in this parallel venation and they are arranged in a parallel rows. The dumbbell shaped guard cells, they are associated with one triangular subsidiary cell on either side. Here in this diagram, these are the subsidiary cells which are triangular in their shape. These triangular subsidiary cells, they are present on these central guard cells. These are the two central guard cells which show the bulbous end. Here the bulbous end is present, while the central portion, it is having the thick walled rod like structure. Here the guard cells have a narrow rod like central region which is thick walled and the thin walled bulbous region on the either side, and this type of arrangement is important for the functioning of the stomata. That means that due to entry of water, the stomata will get opened, and due to the exit of water, the stomata get closed. The epidermal cells, they have the waxy margin, and the examples include the members from the Poaceae and Cyperaceae. All grasses which are having the parallel venation, all grassous plants or the grasses, they show this type of stomata. Thank you. This is a flower which is the world's largest flower, and it is the angiospermic parasitic plant, and the flower, it is having a diameter of near about 1 meter, and it has the weight of 7 kg. This is only for the information purpose. Thank you.